Hello my friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Paul and welcome to my Hugo nominations. This is for the reading year 2019. The awards are actually in the summer of 2020. So I'm not sure if that is the Hugos for 2020 or the Hugos for 2019. I don't know. But anyways, these are the things that I nominated for the Hugo Awards this year. I already made this video once and then I messed up the sound, so I'm going to go ahead and try again. Okay, so for novel, these are the things that I nominated. The Winter of the Witch by Catherine Arden, A Memory Called Empire by Arcady Martin, Gods of Jade and Shadow by Silvia Moreno Garcia, The 10,000 Doors of January by Alex E. Haro, and The Future of Another Timeline by Anna Lee Newitz. So, of these here, my favorite is The 10,000 Doors of January by Alex E. Haro. I loved this story. I thought the writing was phenomenal. And I feel like it does have a chance to actually win the award. One of the things that is missing from my list is Gideon the Ninth by Tamsin Muir. I did like Gideon the Ninth, but I don't think the writing, the actual writing was as good as the ones here on my list. But I think that Gideon the Ninth does have a chance to win. If I had a choice between who I think will win, I think that Gideon the Ninth might take it just because of the marketing campaign and the amount of individuals that have actually read that book, as opposed to the ones on my list. Other books that I read last year that I didn't really think were quite good enough to make the list were Recursion by Blake Crouch, Magic for Liars by Sarah Gailey, and probably a few others as well. The Elizabeth Bear Ancestral Night, that almost made my list, but I think it was between The Future of Another Timeline and Ancestral Night, and I thought The Future of Another Timeline, that in the future, that I think people look back on it and it'll be more of a seminal piece of science fiction after a few years. Okay, let's take a look of the novellas that I nominated. So I didn't read a lot of novellas last year. I usually read a lot of Tor.com novellas, but I really didn't this last year, mainly because of their changes with the library system. I just couldn't get them as easily as I could in the past, and also there wasn't as many that I thought were like really must reads. Like In an Absent Dream by Shauna McGuire, I did read that, but I didn't think that was as great as the other ones. So these are the ones that I am nominating. So we have How Alike Are We by Boo Young Kim. This was from Clark's World. I really enjoyed this quite a bit. It is an AI story, but an AI story where the AI has a short-term memory, or has a memory deficiency. It gets downloaded into this human body, but it doesn't know why it was downloaded into this human body, and it doesn't really know what's going on the ship. And they're supposed to be dropping supplies off on some moon or planet or something. And it was just a great story with a lot of interesting characters with a killer ending. This is How You Lose the Time War by Amal El-Mutar and Max Gladstone. This was one of the best things I read last year. I really enjoyed the writing in it. Amal El-Mutar is one of my favorite writers. She writes beautifully. And Max Gladstone is someone that I just need to read more of. This is my choice to win this, and this is also what I think will win this category. A Time to Reap by Elizabeth Bear. I really enjoyed this one quite a bit. It is from Uncanny Magazine, and is a story about a woman that goes in the past. It's kind of like an Octavia E. Butler type story. She goes in the past and she deals with racism and things of that nature. Really enjoyed that. Permafrost by Alistair Reynolds. Like I said, I didn't read a whole lot of novellas. I enjoyed this. It wasn't amazing, but I thought it was nice and twisty and timey, and a lot of time travel goodness in this. It reminded me a lot of Recursion. In fact, I read Recursion and Permafrost around the same exact time, so both stories are kind of like interwoven within my brain. So yeah. And then the Ted Chiang story, Anxiety is a Business of Freedom. This was a story about parallel worlds and being able to communicate with people, yourself in that parallel world, using a prism, and the lengths that people go to have time to talk to their self in this parallel world. I thought it was really interesting. Okay, novelette. We have a lot of Clark's World things here and one Uncanny Magazine thing. Dave's Head, Suzanne Palmer. This was from Clark's World. This is a family story, both a found family story and like biological family story, and how you choose who your family is, and it's basically a road trip, and they're trying to find the parts for this mechanical dinosaur, and it's just fantastic. I loved it. Song You Young by AQ. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. Let me know if I'm not. Fantastic story. A mother is visiting her son in the city. Her son is like a workaholic, and she's worried about her son. And there's something about AI in there. Absolutely loved it. Loved the way it was written. It's written where the story is being told to an Uber driver, and then like the mother and the son is in the car with the Uber, and they're telling the Uber driver why they were in the city. And it's just a fantastic way to tell a story. I really liked it. Nice Things by Ellen Klages. A daughter's mother dies, and she has very mixed feelings about the mother. The mother wasn't that supportive of her. And the ending of this was just phenomenal. It really makes you think about what type of characteristics we take from our parents and how we can change that. Symbiosis Theory by Chi-Yop Kim. Fantastic story. A young girl is a very talented artist, and she creates this other world, this other planet. And as she grows older, she becomes a game designer, and she creates a game of this world. And then after her death, they actually find out that the world that she created is a real planet. And then the scientists have to figure out, okay, how did she know that this was a real planet? How did she see all this? And the way it turns and changes, I thought it was very smart. Amorville by Bella Hahn. This is a story about virtual love, virtual spaces, how we can find love in the virtual world, and I thought it was fantastic. Short stories. These are a lot from Uncanny and Clark's World. Those are the two publications I read the most of last year. Before the World Crumbles Away by A.T. Greenblatt. This is from Uncanny, and it's about two women that find love with each other, but the world is ending around them, and also there is the day-to-day struggles that are happening in their lives as well. I thought it was a fantastic story and an interesting relationship. Your Future is Pending by Matthew Kressel. So Matthew Kressel basically says that if the future is going to be like it is today, it's going to progress to how it is today, then that future is what we're going towards. And I really enjoyed this. It's really sad though and bleak. Phantoms of the Midway by Shannon McGuire. This is a story from the Mythic Dream, and it's probably the story with the Andranian Das story, the Kali Na story, that I remember the most from the Mythic Dream anthology. This is a story about a girl from the carnival that has never left the carnival grounds. Like, the carnival moves, but she has never left the actual carnival grounds, and the reason why, and when she does leave the carnival grounds, what that means for her. The Annotated set list of the Michaela Cole Jazz Quintet by Catherine George is a Clark's World story that is so smart, and I love this. In the future, people from Earth are trying to travel in space to go to another planet to find a new life. And through that journey, there is a jazz quintet. And they are writing songs based off of their experiences living this life. And I thought this was a very original take on how to talk about leaving your planet and the struggles that you're having and how people have to keep living and telling that story through a set list. I thought it was just really smart and fantastic. The Tailor and the Beast by Ayesha Ufara. This is from Uncanny, and this is a Beauty and the Beast retelling where it is Belle's father instead of Belle that's being captured by the Beast, and then the Beast. And I enjoyed it. It was fine. And this here, I would love to see this Catherine George story do well. I would love to see any of my picks on the short list. I'm not going to talk about any other category or anything like that. These are the categories that are the most important to me. That and Fancast. I would love to see some of our booktubers be on the short list, and possibly win in the future. So hopefully, some of these picks I picked will actually be on the short list. I'm looking forward to that being announced, and I'm looking forward to reading what's on the short list to the things that I haven't read. Okay, thanks for watching.